Wow.
All right, well, we have two mermaids lying in the bed here. Ashley Christo and our very own Paige Hemis.
It sounds like she belongs in the sea way more than I do, but
Try to swim with that tail on.
that's right.
Can I know, Orly, go ahead and set your chair up, and then I will have to jump in.
Well, in honor of you guys being here, you and your husband Philippe, we had to do an underwater DIY, some sort of DIY. So we're doing
Thank you.
DIY mermaid blankets.
Yeah.
So before we do this, can I just point out, because I don't think our audience fully grasps how crazy this can be, but between commercial breaks, you'll see this is a picture that was just happened seconds ago. As we're all trying to get to the next segment, everybody's like, "Hey, God's here!" We're all in the kitchen. We're all either grabbing food or whatever.
That's so true, Mark.
So
wow.
look at all the phones. Everybody's grabbing pictures, and then we're like counting us down into this, and you're trying to put on a mermaid outfit.
Yeah.
We move fast.
But
It's a little bit.
It's easy.
It gets a little bit.
Let's get a bit-
funny.
get a
All
bit
right.
flippy.
Sorry to take.
So no, I love seeing all that. It's so much fun and it's so crazy. Ah! Okay, so the reason that this is really fun is that mermaids have kind of blown up again and taken over, and it's something about the whimsical nature of being a kid and trying to swim like a mermaid. And now as adults, we want to find ways. You did this photo. I want to just show this photo that Mark took. Look at this in his pool, underwater photography, and even that's Amika.
That's Paige's best friend, Amika.
You know, and even this moment here, it's like, I want that moment. I want a photo of myself in that
They're
moment.
magical, though.
They
Mermaids
really are.
Magical. That's
So
not
beautiful.
Amika. You know that. That's a mermaid.
That's
All
a
right.
mermaid.
It's a mermaid.
A mermaid.
So this version, it's sort of now, it's merging now into comfort even. We want to be a mermaid even when we're cozy and sweet. And so that's what this is all about. These are making mermaid blankets. This started off as a really big thing. We were seeing online these crocheted versions. These are amazing, and these are really, really beautiful, but I have no idea how to knit. Like no clue at all. But I do know how to sew. So I figured we could make our own version out of, materials that we go and buy and sew it.
Yeah.
So I created my own pattern that I sort of freehanded. If you have the ability to do that at home, you guys can go ahead and do it. If not, the version that I made will be available on the website to download. They also have them, online. But let's take a look, because I got working on a couple of these earlier. Okay, so here is our fabric. You're gonna fold it in half because you're gonna cut once, right? We always fold in half and cut once. So I wanted to make this a slightly smaller one, so I just kind of tucked the rest of my pattern underneath. That way I could make a smaller version out of the same pattern. You cut out about 1 inch of seam allowance, that way you can then sew. You're gonna line up your tail fin on your fabric. Now you wanna fold your fabric in half again. That way when you cut, you end up with 2 full pieces.
Okay,
a
so
full
don't
front.
forget to fold it twice.
Yes, you wanna fold twice. Next, you're gonna line up the bottom of it right up to the fin. That way you know the distance that the little flipper needs to fit into the bottom. So you just line it up and kind of cut accordingly. So there we go, we've got our 2 pieces.
Oh, look at that.
And I'm just gonna pin everything except for the top together, because that's how you flip it inside out, right?
Okay.
So now I pin up the sides, going almost all the way to the top, about halfway really, because that's how you get into it instead of needing to aggressively jump into it. Now I just sew all the way around everything that I pinned. I go through and sew just, as we usually do. So there's my little skirt part. And now I'm moving on to my flipper. Now I just do the same thing. Give myself, whatever seam allowance I cut allowing, which was about 1 inch, and I work my way around. See, now what I do is you put the base of the tail into the flipper and you fold it over and pin it into place.
Yeah.
And now I'm just gonna do a straight stitch across. I did this after the fact. We don't see it here in the pre-tape, but I just stitched right across, and this is how our little blanket came out.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get inside?
Oh, I can't get inside right now because I have more to show.
Wait, how do you clean the
I
edges?
don't want you to
The
fall.
Edges. How do you
Can you
clean
get
up those
inside, Mark?
edges?
Yes. Now, this is one thing I want to show. You can either leave the top of it raw if your material allows
Like this?
for it, or you can see on Ashlyn's, I hemmed it. So Ashlyn's, I just folded over and hemmed it. That way, it's a nice, clean finish. The version that Paige has, it looks like a sweater,
raw,
so
yeah.
I sort of
I
liked
like
the
it.
way that it looks raw. Now, there's a couple other things to consider real quick. When you're working with them, if you're working with materials like this, where it's got a particular direction or a stripe, it looks really cool to alternate the pattern. So have the base of the body, the blanket, going in one way horizontally, and then go vertically on the tail, or even the reverse, which I did on Paige's. This is the exact same fabric. This is the inside, so it's a little darker, and this is the outside. And so it just provides a little bit of contrast.
Can we use any fabric?
Yes. Okay, so this is a great thing about it. There's two things to consider when picking your fabric, right? There's the look of it. This is really fun to sort of custom design and play around and look. You can do that. But you also want to think of the hand, because this material, it looks really cool, but doesn't feel particularly nice. So I haven't finished sewing it because I want to show you, but I lined it with a much softer sort of blanket material. So if you go and you find a material that your daughter or your niece or yourself really loves, but when you put it to your skin, you're like, it leaves a little to be desired in the toes area.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and put in a lining. Now, one final thing. I know there's a lot of info in this. If you like to clean finish, everyone has their desires. Everyone knows I like really raw edges.
Yeah.
It drives a lot of people crazy. So if you don't like raw edges, you can either hem or you can create a band like this. And what you would do is sandwich the fabric in between.
Oh.
So if you can actually help me, then you put this like this,
And this
and now
fold
you would
over.
fold it over.
And it would
like
be
this.
Tuck
See?
under and-
Oh, I love
And
that.
then
It's
you would
another
stand.
detail.
Yes. So you can do that, if you so desire to have that nice, really
Did you
clean.
do a drawstring in it? If you needed a.
No, because the back actually, can
Look
you
at this.
show?
Yep.
It's almost fully open because what
you
you
can get
want.
in.
So you can get in.
Yes.
through it. Otherwise, it becomes like a potato
You're
sack.
like,
right?
exactly.
This is like the updated Snuggie.
Yes,
It's like a Snuggie.
Yeah,
right?
it's a way cooler Snuggie.
Slippery.
What material is hers? Is that chenille? What is that?
You know what this
really
is?
soft,
Yeah,
cozy.
it's like a faux fur type. You know what it actually is? Do you guys remember those rugs that we did? The detachable
Yeah.
rugs. It's that material.
That's
So it's just a really soft material. But yeah, you want to leave that back open. That way, when you're sitting on the couch, all you have to do is just pull your feet in, and the rest comes up like a blanket.
Fantastic.
Do you guys love it?
It's
Yeah,
so
I'm
nice.
totally taking this home. I hope that's okay.